My name is Sally Zudrow. I'm a
And-
biological science technician here at Sherburne Refuge. I've been here 15 years.
What's special about your wildlife preserve?
Sherburne Refuge was established in 1965, and we have a very unique habitat called oak savanna. It's very rare, less than 1% left in the U.S., and that's what we're trying to restore the refuge to, is oak savanna.
Okay. What does your job require? Like, what do you do?
As a biological science technician, I do wildlife surveys. I also help with managing invasive species, and I also am in charge of water level management on the refuge.
Okay. What types of activities do you guys have at the refuge here?
We have hunting and fishing. We also allow photography and bird watching, and we do environmental education here at the refuge.
Okay. What's your favorite part about the refuge here?
My favorite part of the refuge is the St. Francis River. We have 44 river miles that run through the refuge, and I like being out on the river, monitoring water quality and quantity.
What is a biotech? What does it, like, what do you need to have to become a biotech for?
I have a degree in wildlife management from UW-Stevens Point, just a Bachelor of Science.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit more what it does? Like what you do for?
For Sherburne Refuge? Well, besides some of the other things that I mentioned with invasive species, I also help assist with prescribed burning. That's mandatory every year. Pretty much that happens for a month in the spring. I also do wildlife surveys such as crane census in the spring and fall, and I do banding, duck banding, and mourning duck banding, monitoring those populations.
Okay. Is there any rare wildlife you guys see here?
The latest that we've seen is a red-headed woodpecker at our bird feeder here, and we're always looking for red-headed woodpeckers. They're associated with oak savanna, so we know that we're restoring oak savanna by seeing these species also. We're doing tree removals on the refuge. It's opening up the canopy of oaks, so hopefully we'll start seeing more red-headed woodpeckers because they like open canopies.
Okay. Is there any types of animals that you look for during your time here in the office? There's a river right outside.
I look for river otter, and then I'm always looking for ducks too.
How often do you see river otter?
Very rarely.
Really?
I see a river otter a couple times a year. That's
In the water.
time. We do a lot of data entry, and then we analyze our data and write reports, and then we also write plans, like water management plans.
Do people ever come into the office for things other than fishing and hunting?
Yep, they come in, some of the bird watching folks come in and, want to know what we've been seeing lately on the refuge. We also get people that are just interested in knowing, what we have to offer on our wildlife drives and hiking trail.
Okay. Are you a volunteer, or do you work here year-round?
I'm a year-round employee. Like I said, I've been here 15 years, and my job started out temporary and turned to permanent after the first several months of working here.
Okay. What are the other jobs that happen here at the refuge, and can you explain them for us?
Some of the other positions that we have are full-time law enforcement officer. We just acquired a full-time law enforcement officer recently within the last year, and he enforces all the rules and regulations on the refuge. We have a manager and an assistant manager, and they're basically in charge of supervising personnel and then making policy. And we have a public use specialist and a volunteer service coordinator. They work together doing recruiting volunteers and also doing environmental education and also setting up festivals. And we also have maintenance workers too, which they maintain the facilities, grounds, you name it.
Okay. Do people get to just come in and walk anywhere on the refuge, or do they have to stay on different paths, or how does that work to come and see the wildlife?
At this time of the year, the refuge is a wildlife sanctuary, and the only places people are allowed are on the hiking trails and auto tour route. Then comes September 1, pretty much the majority of the refuge is open to everybody, except for several closed areas on the refuge.
Okay. So it opens up on September 1st. When does it close?
It will close again March 1.
Okay. Why is September 1st so special? Why aren't we allowed to come and walk anywhere on?
Because it is a wildlife sanctuary. We're allowing the birds and mammals to raise their young without disturbance.
Okay. There's a gift shop in the refuge. Can you tell me what is sold there, or what types of things that it offers?
We have nature books. We have greeting cards with wildlife on them for folks, and we sell t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats.
Okay. Was there anything else that you'd like to add about different types of things that happen here
on the refuge? Just to let people know that in the fall we do offer hunting. We have some of the things that we do allow are like deer hunting, small game hunting, duck hunting,
Okay.
and fishing in certain spots on the refuge.
Okay. Thank you.